So not something I had ever thought I'd be doing. I'm going through a food bank line. It's the second time doing it. Um, my wife's pregnant, and we don't have the income really. It's my income, which I'm doing just on deliveries. But I used to have I had six figures, and now I'm doing this, and I feel a little odd because I feel like it's beneath me. If I'm just being honest, it's not though. That's the thing, man. People helping people is what it should be about, and this is just generosity from companies, from people that donate food and hand it out. So I'm sitting in this line right now. It's probably going to take an hour to wrap around to get you get basic stuff, tuna fish, some fruit maybe, um, some meat, macaroni. I don't know, a bunch of different stuff, but nothing I ever thought I'd be doing. And I never really thought about it. I just knew people did it, but I don't know. I didn't really consider like why or how or what. But the lines are long. People have needs, and it's a great thing for the community. This one's called Ending Hunger. And as you can see, there's a pretty long line. And there's a line behind me too. These guys are wrapping around. Here are the helpers grabbing the food, loading the cars. So it's I don't know. Give the community is. I've started to realize now that I'm older that community is so much more important than what I ever thought. I was just like, I'm gonna stay in. I don't want to be around anybody. Everybody leave me alone. I still kind of feel that way, but I'm starting to kind of walk it back and see that I shouldn't be thinking that way because I interact with the community more, almost out of necessity, and it's been a godsend. And you meet some amazing people. I have a friend that works here that works through this program, and she's helped me out a lot. My truck died. She let me borrow her car. She set us up, with our application here at the food bank. Um, you just I don't know. You never know who you're going to meet when it comes to anything. I think interacting with people more is what we should be doing. We do that less and less now because of the internet, and we isolate ourselves and we tell ourselves that we are loners. And I get that. I totally get that because I will still call myself a loner today. I'm an introvert. I need to recharge. Loner is probably not the right word, even though I've used it and I probably still will use it, trying to get away from that. But there's a lot. If you saw my previous video, I talked about how I got laid off, and then I went on this just kind of interesting turn of events where I was doing comedy and I was traveling and just all this different stuff. So people say like a lot of people are lucky, like you get lucky a lot of times. I think that's true. I think there's absolutely luck, and people say you make your own luck. I believe in that to a point. Like you can't make luck, but you could put yourself in scenarios where luck is more likely to happen. Your odds go up. Just like with anything, the more you do it, the more likely something is going to occur. The more you practice shooting a free throw, the more likely you're going to make most of them. The more you practice swimming, the better swimmer you're going to be. I don't know why it's all sports, but right now that's what I got. So I think by putting ourselves in front of more people helps us. And that's something in my early years, my 20s, even my 30s, I really didn't realize. Now that I'm in my 40s, I'm 46, it's starting to kind of come together. What lane do I want to be in? All right, I got to figure out what lane I should be in here. If I go here, that's the outside lane, I think. Yeah, all right. So there's quite a bit of a line wrapping around. I'm working my way around now. After I've been working, I've been out on the road doing some orders, and I remember that this was today, so I shot over here because things were kind of slow. Maybe I'll go back to work, but I didn't plan this today. It just kind of happened. Oh, look at these basketball hoops. Oh my God, they're so small. They're like I don't know, 5 feet off the ground, maybe. That's amazing. I want to play so bad. I still would suck. But I think, I don't know, that probably got loud. I don't know. I just think as a society, we've kind of gotten a way of being around people, especially people that we don't think think like us, or maybe they don't have the same traditions as us. I don't know. It's all, wait, I'm not in a pickup line, am I? That would suck. I don't have any kids yet. 2 weeks I will, but if you just do something different, like if you, I don't know, went to like a lot of people go to bars and that's where you meet people. I guess it's harder the older you get, um, because you always expect a certain type. Also, you don't want to meet people just at bars. I don't drink as much. I used to drink. I was that guy. I partied, and now I don't. I hardly drink at all. Maybe a couple of beers a year, if there's an event. But you could find different stuff like on Meetup.com, Facebook. There's all sorts of events. I met people through doing comedy, doing open mics, multimedia open mics, which is like people go in, they jam out, right? They bring their guitar, they sing. You got poets, you got comedians like myself trying different stuff, and it's an interesting mix of people. All these little connections just start popping up. Like it might be indirect, but they start happening, and you might not even know you have them, right? You probably have a connection um, through somebody that you know, or directly through that person that you just don't know they do that. Like I've gone back to my hometown and I've had people come up to me. I ran into a bar that like I went to high school with or whatever, and it never even crossed my mind. It's like, I can't believe you do stand up. You get on stage and you make people laugh, and I'm just like, yeah, because I'm used to it now. But to them, it's insane, and to most people, it probably is insane. And yes, it is insane, but it's something I did, and I've met like all these connections. I've met some famous people, and I do have these kind of weird connections through like comedians that have a connection to like 7 degrees of separation, right? The Kevin Bacon thing. Like I'm 3 degrees separated from like Louis C.K., right? It's just interesting how this all shakes out. We say the world is such a big place, but it can become very small if you just kind of go out and start being personable, start having conversations with people. I mean, especially people that you might not agree with. I think those are the best because you get just a different view. Now, don't get in an argument. I would say avoid getting into arguments because that normally doesn't go anywhere. It just makes things worse. But get into it. I mean, if you have a debate, that's different, right? If you're reasonable people, and you'll know pretty quickly. And if it's not a reasonable conversation, yeah, get the hell out of there. But I think the majority of the time, 90% of the time or more, it's going to be a reasonable conversation, even though their logic might be a little different than yours. I don't know how I got here from the food bank, but yeah, that's it. I think just because my life has taken such a turn, it's taken such a turn. I mean, again, I was a bachelor. I had no kids. I wasn't married. I was making six figures. I worked from home. I mean, I did whatever I want whenever I want. And I thought that's what I loved. And life just got, like, looking back on it now, I'm like, look at all those boring moments you had. Just think about those moments. Like, I was online on, like, in groups, and, like, I was in, like, an office group. And I mean, that was cool. I actually met some cool people. But it's just like, how much time did I waste in there when I could have been productive and out in society and doing much more? It's kind of glad why. That's kind of why I'm glad what I'm going through. I don't want going through, not in a negative sense, but what I'm going through, personally, I guess, in retrospect, looking back, is awesome because I did a lot of things, and I have a base on what that is, what life can be if I wasn't married, if I didn't have a kid. Well, that's happening in 2 weeks. So I could have a whole different conversation when the baby's here, but we'll see how that plays out. But it's just interesting. Like I lived that life, and yeah, there was a lot of fun moments, but I probably missed a lot of good stuff too. You know, luckily, I am lucky. I'm 46. I'm lucky that my wife got pregnant. She's 33. I'm older. I didn't think I could have kids because I thought one would have slipped by now. I thought, nah, it's not for me. I can't. And turns out that's not true. So I'm glad I'm able to still have that opportunity to have a child. Because if you just look at the things I did in the past outside of like the partying and trips, okay, but just as how I saw the world, like a baby in my life is makes sense. My friend, I've known her and her husband both for over 30 years. They're married, okay, and I know them both for a very long time. And when I was in high school, I remember she said that I would be the first one married with kids. And everybody went out and got married and had kids except me. And then everybody was like, at some point, they're like, yeah, he's not getting married ever. He's not having kids. So when it all happened, and it happened fast, and I knew it would if it happened to me, I knew it would happen fast. And when it all happened, everybody was like, "Wait, what? You got married? Wait, what? You're having a kid? What is happening? This what you Westgate? No way!" But I know I don't know. It makes sense to me now. It's just like yeah, and I don't like to like regret. Do I have regrets? Yeah, but I don't like to say like I regret not doing this earlier, because then the butterfly effect. Well, if I did that, then would this have happened, and so on and so forth. So I don't like to look at life that way. But so I'm very very happy where I'm at. Again, I had all those things. I had the single, the stuff that sounds good on paper, right? Single, no kids, work at home, 6-figure job, all sounds good on paper, but I wasn't happy. I wasn't truly happy. I'm truly happy now. I'm not making shit for money. I'm worried about money. I'll figure it out though. I know that I got a kid coming. I'll figure it out. I know that I have a lot of things I can worry about. And don't get me wrong, sure, I have worries, but I also just feel extremely comfortable and extremely happy and blessed, and like everything's just gonna be fine. The I'll figure it out mentality. Of course, you got to put that into action. You can't just not do anything, right? Well, you got to do something. You got to pop up. You can't just lay there. That's a great movie. So I don't know. This is my journey. This is kind of where I'm going, and we'll see how it plays out, man. I'm gonna play it out on here for a while. I mean, this I wish I would have done a long time ago because I had talked about this a long time ago to some family and friends about doing this, putting my and just opening up. Has always been a challenge for me. I'm not very good at it. I tend to be better at it when it's just me and I can do something like this. Like with my wife, like I'll leave her notes or I'll send her a video. Like I don't like to be there when the reaction happens because I don't know. I get right. So this makes a lot of sense for me, and I just want to be raw and honest and let people that are in my position, my age, even younger, take what from it you can. Just have a understanding of what life could look like. So I don't know. That's just my story. That's it, guys. I'll have more soon. I'm gonna talk about the baby coming. I do a before and after on that. So check it out. Thanks for watching.